Alright, hello everyone. We're back with another Battle Redux video, and this one now is the third of the battles that I've done personally in this third season of our draft league. Obviously, showing up front here are some trainer cards describing the teams that you'll be seeing today. Mine are here on the bottom row, described them before in the previous videos, don't really need to go over them too much. We'll go over it more when I do my team build. My opponent on the third battle of this season was Crocodile. Yes, that is two L's, no I there. And the random type they were assigned was Psychic, and the draft type they picked was Fire. So we'll take a quick look at their team here. On the Psychic side, they've got Starmie, Alakazam, and Indeedee Female, all of which are hard-hitting, fast special attackers. They've got Malamar, which can do some really nice setup sweeping with Superpower and Contrary. Claydol, which is good for utility, and Exeggutor, which is good for a lot of kind of longevity and playing around with that. Particularly Harvest Citrus Berry is a great set with Exeggutor, especially if you pair it with Leech Seed, Giga Drain, and Substitute, or at least some combination thereof. And as I mentioned, Claydol's good utility. It's very well known for having both Stealth Rock and Rapid Spin, so it can set the hazards and clear your own. Also important to me is that Claydol is very good at threatening both my types. It's got access to ground type moves, obviously, so my steel types don't like that. And it often will carry Ice Beam, so my dragon types don't like that. Not pictured on the Psychic Trainer card, but actually over on the Fire Trainer card. This little egg here is a stand-in for Galarian Slowbro. Also relatively good utility, longevity thing that also can hit hard if you want it to. It's got Regenerator and can have the good special attack. So they only drafted 3 fire types overall amongst their team. They've got Blaziken, which, like Malamar, can be an amazing setup sweeper. Blaziken's more known for speed than it is for high defenses, obviously. Turtonator, again, setup sweeper if you get off a good Shell Smash. And even if you don't, it's got some really strong special attacking capabilities. And then Torkoal, which is a utility Pokemon. In doubles, it's actually also very well known as a special attacker. If you've seen some of my previous videos from last season, you might have seen that in action already. But yeah, so it's also got the utility that Claydol has with both Rapid Spin and Stealth Rock. Let's see, what else am I missing here? Oh, Torkoal obviously sets up Sun, which helps the fire types. And that Indeedee Female can set up the Psychic Terrain, which will help the Psychic types on his team. So that's a quick rundown of all of the threats. Let's go see how I prepared for them. What we've got up top, my ace at the moment is Corviknight. Generally, similar set to what you've seen before. Roost, Bulk Up, Power Trip, Agility, specially defensive to cover the special side. Bulk Up covers the physical side. This one does not have leftovers, however. Instead, it has the Uckaberry, which helps prevent fire type, or lessens damage from fire type super effective attacks. Obviously, with my opponent having fire type, this is an important item to have if I want to set up properly. Speaking of setups, we now move over to Hydreigon. Got Substitute, Nasty Plot leftovers for longevity and pumping up the special attacking power. Then its 2 attacks are Earth Power to hit the fire types and Dark Pulse to hit the psychic types. Pretty straightforward here. Here's my fun Klefki set that you might have seen in one of my previous videos where I gave it Lagging Tail Switcheroo. In the previous video, it was meant for Gyarados or Alolan Raichu. And here, it can be meant for any of those fast psychic special attackers, or for Blaziken, if that happens. And again, Reflect, Light Screen, Thunderwave, utility stuff there. Next up is my Dragonite. again, Roost, Dragon Dance, Lumberry. This is all, again, just a setup attacker, basically. Physical attacker instead of special attacker this time. Earthquake for the fire types, and then Outrage just to hit hard on all of the psychic types that I can't hit well with Earthquake. Last but not least are my two kind of specialty picks here. Durant. Life Orb, Hustle, Home Claws, pretty typical set you might see there. X Scissor to hit psychic types. Stomping Tantrum to hit the ground, or Stomping Tantrum and Stone Edge to hit the fire types. Excuse me, geez, I'm sorry. Lastly, I've also got Tyrantrum here. Again, just another physical sweeper with the Dragon Dance setup. Earthquake for fire types, Crunch for the psychic types, and Play Rough specifically for Malamar. I carried Play Rough in my battle against the Ghost Poison person for a similar thing because they had Spiritomb and Sableye as options on their team. So yeah, I've got Play Rough on here. And I've got Choplaberry here instead of Shookaberry. Shookaberry was to help prevent ground-type attacks from hitting Tyrantrum. I'm not as worried about ground-type attacks here, but I am worried about Superpower from Malamar, maybe Focus Blast from some of the other psychic types, and obviously Blaziken is a physical fighting-type attacker as well. So that's where I've got Choplaberry for Tyrantrum. And that is my team build. For fighting my psychic fire opponent. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So we'll go in and look at the battles now. So here we are. We've got a lead off. Got my team here. My opponent's got Turtonator, Malamar, and DDD, Alakazam, Blaziken, and Claydol. I'm not entirely sure how to lead off here. I kind of think, well, what if I just try to go in and hit hard? So you will see me lead off with Hydreigon here. And they lead off with Alakazam. I'm anticipating here a Focus Blast coming at me, which will potentially hurt, but let me try and get in as much damage as I can, because I don't necessarily want any of my other Pokemon to take a Focus Blast either. Obviously, it'll hit Dragonite, Klefki, Corviknight, and I think maybe even Durant for neutral. But if that's a Choice Banded Alakazam, I'd rather get a free switch than to take damage. So I'm going to go in on this first turn with a Dark Pulse, and you'll see I forgot that Alakazam gets Dazzling Gleam. So, not a great start on this first battle. Now, at this point, I don't know if Alakazam is Life Orb Magic Guard, or if it's Choice Specs, or who knows what else this item might have for this Alakazam. So right now, I'm looking at the team. I'm thinking, well, with the exception of Claydol, all the other Pokemon on his team are probably faster, or may get faster at least, particularly with Turtonator. I don't want Turtonator to get the Shell Smash off. If I can just slow down anything, I'm going to use Thunder Wave. Oh, oops. Oh, that's next turn. My bad. I used Light Screen there. Then the Thunder Wave comes off. And I assume, okay, so I used Light Screen first. And he did have Focus Blast. Didn't do a ton of damage. So I'm not surprised he switched to try to get a more offensive thing in there. I am a little bit surprised that he didn't pick Claydol. But I did risk the Thunder Wave there because that was one of my main thoughts. And I got Thunder Wave off on that Blaziken. And I believe right now is when I make my switch to Tyrantrum to start setting up. Yes. So he tries to set up as well, hoping that his speed boost will get over the paralysis issue. Now, I know that sometimes Blaziken will run Protect to try to get extra speed boosts in. So I'm guessing that he uses Protect next. And because of that, specifically, I'm guessing he uses Protect as opposed to a fighting type attack like Close Combat or High Jump Kick. So I take a risk here, and I know that if he uses Protect to try to get another speed boost off, his Blaziken will be at regular speed, And so I go for a Dragon Dance to hopefully outspeed him on the next turn and do some big damage. Protect as I thought, and I get the Dragon Dance off, so I will be able to hit him with an Earthquake the following turn. I'm starting... Light Screen goes away, so that's unfortunate. He sends out Malamar next. I talked about this in the team build. I am anticipating Superpower, which is why I have the Chopper Berry, and I have Play Rough to try to deal with it. So Play Rough does not get the kill, unfortunately. Superpower comes in, Chopper Berry does what it's supposed to do. It gets a boost, but I can still take it out with Crunch now. And at this point, I get some good sweeping in. Oh, that's right. No, that was another turn. Good damage in on the Turtonator. It doesn't kill, unfortunately. If it had, I would have been able to do some more sweeping. But Draco Meteor comes in, kills Tyrantrum. And the thing that's going to happen next is now I know that this Turtonator, it didn't use Shell Smash. Probably smart thing to do, because I might have been able to kill it otherwise. But it's now low on special attack. So I'm going to take the next risk and send in Corviknight and hope to start setting up with Corviknight. Fire Blast comes in, so again, no Shell Smash seeing here. My Berry does what it's supposed to do. So now Fire Blast comes in, takes me to about half health. But it lets me get off a Roost, and this is where it gets a little weird because he misses not one, but 2 Fire Blasts in a row. So that's where luck really helped me out on this particular battle. But at this point, sweeping starts coming off. He sends out Indeedee, Power Trip kills it. He's going to send out Claydol, Power Trip will kill it. And then he sends out his Alakazam again, and I'm expecting Power Trip will kill it. But this is where the item I mentioned before comes in sesh. It's a Sash. And Counter comes in and kills my Corviknight, which is a bit surprising, but this still gives me the opportunity to finish the battle off with my Dragonite's Earthquake. So at the end there, so I got surprised twice by that Alakazam in this battle. First with Dazzling Gleam. Second, it's got Sash and Counter. Which is something I'm not necessarily used to seeing a lot, particularly not in 6v6 battles like this. It's a much more common set on some of the other formats. Like, I think I've seen it in doubles before, but I've seen it a lot in 1v1 and 2v2. Because in those places, that Sash counter combination on Alakazam is a lot more powerful when your opponent, because in those cases your opponent has a limited number of Pokemon. So if you can just get that 1 or 2 surprise kills, all the more power to you. But I now have that information going into our second battle. I make no changes. My opponent makes several. So we'll actually go back here so we can see the differences. Blaziken is out. Torkoal is in. So that's the only visible change with the Pokemon. He might have changed some other things, I'm not sure. But I know one thing is I'm not going to make the same mistake I made last time and lead off with Hydreigon. Excuse me. So we'll go in. He leads off with Torkoal. I lead off with Dragonite. Oh, pause, please. So I'm going to try... I know that my Dragonite has Lumberry. I'm going to start setting up, because I know Torkoal likes to have Yawn on it. Again, not as much in singles, more so in doubles. And this is where luck actually gets the worst of me, because I know I have Lumberry. I can shake off the sleep, but Lava Plume burns me. So the fact that he was able to inflict 2 statuses in one turn basically negated my Lumberry. So now I'm asleep. I'm very well set up, but there's the chance of really getting screwed over. Now he sends out Turtonator. I was thinking it might have been, the Alakazam for Dazzling Gleam or Claydol for Ice Beam, but he sends out Turtonator. He's expecting me to stay asleep and probably get the Draco Meteor off. So right now I'm just, again, hoping that I can get through this sleep. Thankfully I do, and I one-hit it. I think at this point I do get off. Alright, you already saw me use Roost there. But I know it's got a sash, so I'm not going to attack into the sash at the risk it uses counter. So I'm going to roost instead and see what he does. He's coming in with Dazzling Gleam. This is kind of what I was expecting previously. So I keep trying to go in, trying to bait and see if I can trick the counter at any way. So he uses Dazzling Gleam a second time. It's important to notice Dazzling Gleam is doing about 30%, so without multi-scale it'll do about 60%. As he's continued to use Dazzling Gleam, I'm guessing he's not going to try for counter anytime soon, so I'm going to risk coming in with the hard hit. And in this case, the risk pays off. He uses Dazzling Gleam again. I'm down low, but I've now broken the stash and I get the kill off. Claydol comes in. I'm worried about Ice Beam, so I use Roost, hopefully half the damage. It's not Ice Beam, it's Charge Beam. And so that lets me come in with a kill. And I think, yes, I'll get another off here. And I'm going to be confused now. But Torkoal comes in. I do get Earthquake off, and it does not kill. And now I'm yawned, sleepy again, with my Lumberry gone. Now, the thing I'm worried about is even if I kill Torkoal, I'll go to sleep, and Malamar can come in and start setting up. Now, I've got a full team here. I'm not incredibly worried about Malamar setting up. But it still would not be fun, especially if Malamar has leftovers. Because it might take me a while to break through. I've got X-Scissor on Durant, but if it gets 2 superpowers off before I can do X-Scissor, not fun. So instead of trying to let Dragonite sweep, I'm going to switch. And it's not great for me because Lava Plume comes in, does a huge chunk of damage. But I'll get Reflect off. Again, Reflect's not Light Screen because I'm worried about Malamar. And so here, I'm relying on Hydreigon's Dragon typing to shake off the Lava Plume damage. And here I'll start setting up to make sure that my Dark Pulse is able to kill Malamar. Now right here's a fun little thing. I use Substitute and my opponent used Yawn. This is something that annoys me in almost any of the plays that I go through. Because I feel like Yawn is a soundproof move. And should go through Substitute. It does not, I guess because it's a visual move, as opposed to a sound-based move. That helps me out here. But when I've used Torkoal previously, I love using Yawn and hate that it does not go through Substitute. Sorry, that's just a little mini rant there, but that gave me a free turn to continue my setup. And at this point, we're going to basically sweep to the end. Because Lava Plume does not break Substitute, I'll get off an Earth Power to kill this, and then Dark Pulses to deal with the Malamar. So that's that battle. I certainly learned from the previous battle a little bit, not to get caught off guard by that Alakazam. And yeah, everything worked out pretty well, even with the early consumption of the Lumberry that wasn't quite anticipated. All worked out pretty well. Dragonite did its job for sweeping, and Hydreigon cleaned up. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that battle. I've actually got several more of my own that I'm ready to record, but the next video you'll actually see me post is not one of my own battles. I will be showcasing a battle between 2 of the other top participants in the league. So that'll be fun. And then I'll get back to showcasing some of my own battles. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you later. Bye.